Gates drop here. Febvre looking for a good jump, doesn't get it. Geiser squeezes everybody to his left. Rider down, 2 riders down. Mid-pack, remember Seewer had a big crash there a couple of years ago on the exit of the turn. But it's Kühnen who leads the way. Geiser second, Hurlings in third. Renault in fourth, alongside him, Paul's Jonas. And then his teammate, Roman Febvre. Vlaanderen is next, then Panzer, Seewer, Geerts. So in pole position once again, exactly where he wants to be. Lucas Kühnen. Was it a foxhole shot? We'll take a look at that in more detail a little bit later. But it's the Belgian who leads the way. Hurling second, Geiser third, Febvre fourth. Jonas not in fifth now because he's been passed by Vlaanderen already on the opening lap. Good start for the number 10, Calvin Vlaanderen. Or is it Renault here? It's Renault, isn't it? Yeah, Renault in fifth. Jonas sixth, then Panzer, then Vlaanderen. Oh, mistake there from Febvre. Couldn't get clean drive on the exit of turn 10. And look how these three have just pulled away from him immediately. Gonna have to go digging deep just to get back on terms with the Honda man ahead of him. 2-4-3, Geiser in third place. Watch this here, Roman Febvre, just untidy, folds the front, and then jabs himself. But lost that crucial drive through those first couple of waves. But Kühnen will lead as we hit the line here. The first 3 riders separated by 1.8 seconds, with Hurling second, Geiser in third. Geiser struggling with arm pump. His post yesterday said arm pump is his enemy at the moment. Not surprisingly, only what, second race back? Third race? But Kühnen leads, Hurlings from Geiser, Febvre 4, Renault 5, Jonas 6, Panzer 7, Geerts 8, Fernandez 9, Vlaanderen 10. Then we've got Guadagnini and Seewer. Can't separate those Ducatis, can you? Then Koldenhoff, Bonacorsi, Brumman, Bogus, Prunier, Watson, Koch and Georgiev. Van Donnik in Gifting, I think those two. Van Donnik in red was one of the riders that went down. Maybe Gifting went with him as well in that first turn. Carnage. Febvre been kicking himself after that mistake that he made on the opening lap. Just on the entry to the waves where he lost that ground. He's having to dig a little bit here just to get back to the rear wheel of these two 5-time champs. Kühnen keeping a cool, calm head at the minute. Stays like this, Kühnen gains another 7 points on Febvre at the top of the championship, but you just sense there's going to be a little bit more to it than that. It's not going to be as straightforward as that, is it? Oh, Geiser off the side, backed off. It's quite difficult to get back on track there as well. It's so hard and slick and so many loose marbles. Geiser. Applying the pressure, just watch this here. Just off the side there, look. Didn't lose the position, didn't gain an advantage. Kühnen, fastest lap of the, that was the first official lap, by the way. Kühnen, 1:56.07. Hurlings, 56.9. Geiser with that mistake, 57.1. Febvre in the 56s as well. As they break free from Maxime Renault, who's in the 59s. Fernandez up to 7th. He's found his way past Jan Panzer. Vlaanderen up to 9th. You know what? I think Geiser fancies this, you know. Just sitting there, biding his time, doesn't look flustered. How many laps does the diesel Hurlings need to get himself fired up and burning on all the old coil springs? Take a look at the start, shall we? There was carnage going through the first turn. Might have been Van Donnik and Gifting. Centre of his scheme, the rider in red, 32. Oh, he got stood up and then he got barged into the right-hand side there. Gifting goes down. Watch this here. Just alongside the number 70. Yeah, Gifting already went down and Van Donnik had nowhere to go. Those two picking themselves up. Not a great start for either of them. But Lucas Kuhnen looking cool at the minute. Mentioned yesterday that he wasn't wearing the wrist braces that he'd been wearing since the opening round because of those injuries that he had at the start of the year. Injuries that he was riding with just to keep himself in the championship chase. Well, obviously it turns out now that those points that he scored in those opening few races were crucial. Spoke to Davide De Carli this morning just before the free practice, and he said he actually didn't wear them in Holland either. So just a personal choice. Maybe it just gives him a bit more freedom just to move around on the bike a little bit more, ride it slightly differently, less restricted perhaps, who knows. Doesn't need them anymore though. That is the crucial factor in all of that. Fernandez on the 70. He's on the charge, going after Paul Jonas here. This is for 6th place. Balander just behind him. He also has found his way past Panzer. As Fernandez did a couple of laps ago. Fernandez lighting up the back end though, losing ground to the Latvian. All that work to do again. Watch this. Front, then the back end comes around. An indication as to how loose it is down there. Erling sets the fastest lap of the race. 2/10 quicker than Kuhnen. Gets the gap to 2.2. There's your top 4. Kuhnen, Herlings, Geiser, and Fevre. In the gap, next rider in shot will be the blue of Maxime Renault, heading in the opposite direction. He's got a comfortable advantage, 3 seconds clear over Paul Jonas, who would love a 3-second advantage over Ruben Fernandez, but not affording it at the moment. Static at the moment. Just under 23 minutes to go, this first MXGP race. Remember, Kuhnen went 1-1 here in MX2 last year, on his way to 2nd in the championship. Jeffrey Herlings, victorious 2018, 2019 and 21 on 2 occasions. 4 wins here for the Bullet. Jeremy Seewer, a race winner here last year. His teammate making inroads. Seewer 14th, Guadagnini up to 10th. Found his way past Jargo Geerts. Good showing this from Guadagnini and Ducati. I'm not going to say anything about Jargo Geerts. Last time I said that, all he needs to do is this. He ended up cartwheeling. So we'll just say that Jargo Geerts in 11th. Under pressure from Koldenhoff. In 12th, in red. The Hoff may lose a couple of points here to Ruben Fernandez, but just try and get out of this one battered and bruised. After his crash coming out of this turn in free practice yesterday, there was a horrible edge on this jump here. Spat him sideways, went down hard, couldn't really break free from anything, and definitely feeling second hand last night, but has had a good kip, good sleep, bit of a Masagi. Feeling better today on his 250th Grand Prix start. Bonacorsi's gone down though, his teammate, hasn't he? Just in that turn. Looked like he was going around the outside, Bonacorsi. Romain Fevre still not able to close in on Geiser at the moment. No, Bonacorsi did stay upright. Things slowing down a little bit here. Jargo Geerts holding tight lines, Koldenhoff trying to go even tighter. Bonacorsi got the advantage of sort of seeing the track a little bit differently. Seewer behind them in 14th place. Oh, the Hoff trying to hustle Jargo Geerts out of that 11th place. What we can't see there is how beat up that corner is. You see a lot of movement as the riders get out of there on the gas, easily on the gas. It's the fight for 11th place. And Koldenhoff up the inside of Jago Geertz, who responds immediately, regains that 11th position. Bonacorsi sitting there waiting patiently behind them. First three riders, Kühnen, Herlings, Geiser, all in the 55s. But it's Geiser with the fastest lap of the race on lap 4 at the moment, 1:55.4. Fernandez is on a good lap at the moment as well as he goes after Pols Jonas. Lisa Leyland is down in pit lane with Davide Di Carli. We're going to go down to Red Bull KTM Factory Racing and hear what Lisa has to say, what Davide Di Carli has to say about Lucas Kühnen in this first race so far. He's currently 3 seconds clear of Jeffrey Herlings.
Davide Di Carli, we saw Lucas Kühnen win the qualifying race yesterday. He's now leading the way now. So far, so good. He's looking pretty comfortable out there.
Yeah, I'm really happy because finally we got back good starts. We have work in Italy. We make some tests and looks like we improve on the start. So he's really fast at the moment. Actually, all 4 riders is really fast. This lap, I think he make our parkour sector. And but also the other 4 riders, they are really pushing, and it's really an intense race. I hope it will stay like this, and we can get more points as possible to Roma.
So what was the problem with Lucas's starts? What was the problem with Lucas's starts?
No, it was not really problem. We just need kind of resets because from now we have 12 all shots in the championship, so it's really good. So we need to continue like this and try to keep this pace in the end of the season.
Good luck to the team. Thank you.
Lucas Kühnen, 3.5 seconds clear of Jeffrey Herlings. The Belgian lapping quicker than the Dutchman that time around by about 3 or 4 tenths. See, that's the gap. Can't even see Herlings. 3.8 now the gap as Herlings goes through the end of sector 2. Fernandez has found his way past Jonas. Takes over that 6th position. He was closing, wasn't he, all of the time? So the 70 finds his way past the 41 into that 6th place. Here's how he did it. Turn 5. Jonas tried to get it. Oh, I tried to lean on him, didn't he? But Fernandez roughing him up. Got better drive on the exit. Was that a little bye gesture there? Just say sorry, buddy. But racing's racing, so's rubbing. Fernandez up into 6th place. He's only 4 seconds down on Maxime Renault, lapping quicker than the Frenchman as well. Talking about lapping quicker, Lucas Kühnen has just put the fastest lap of the race in on lap 6, 1:54.667. Everybody else behind him in that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all in the 56 territories, which means Herlings now almost 5 seconds behind Lucas Kühnen. Geiser can't afford to switch off, just like the qualifying race on Saturday. These two fighting over that 3rd place. Fevre found his way at the halfway point into 3rd. And he'll be going after Herlings just like he did in the qualifying race as well. So this race mirroring what we saw in the qualifying race, for now at least, in the first 7 laps. Fevre trying to go high and wide around the turn, gets good drive, see how things tighten up. For Geiser as he holds that inside line. You can hear Romain Fevre right there behind him. Just wonder if Geiser's just suffering with that little bit of arm pump again at the moment. Fevre looking over his shoulder, thinks, okay, how far is the next rider? Well, the answer is about 14 seconds. It's Maxime Renault. How dry and slick it is there. The back end, there's that transfer. Fevre neatly to the inside. And he goes past, moves past Geiser into 3rd place. Clear track ahead of him. At 3 seconds up the track, Jeffrey Herlings. The gap will be 5 points gained by Lucas Kühnen. Watch this here. Watch Fevre's line. Lights up the back end there, but the transfer here Saw that a lot in the MX250 race. No one doing MX2. Fevre using that line beautifully to find his way past Tim Geiser into third place. Right, 7 laps complete. Lucas Koenen still lapping in 54s. Hurlings crosses the line now in 56. Fevre, 56. Geiser, 58.6. 10 seconds separate. 10.6 separate. Try that again. Put my teeth in. 10.6 seconds separate the first 4. But crucially for Romain Fevre, he's now got clear track, looking to go after Jeffrey Hurlings. The gap between those two, 3 seconds. He's got more time in order to do that. Didn't have that time yesterday when he found his way into third. The gap was a little bit bigger as well. In the end, settled for third, only losing 2 points to Lucas Koenen. This time around, though, if he settles for third, he's going to lose 5 to the rider that's closest to him in the championship chase. Hence the urgency now from the number 3. Usually likes circuit conditions when they get hard and slick like this, can get a little bit loose where other riders maybe don't feel so comfortable. Maxime Renaux, a steady Grand Prix for him so far. 5th in the qualifying race, 5th in this opening race at the moment. Just looking to ride himself back into some kind of solid form in these remaining 3 rounds. But Maxime Renaux, monster in his Yamaha. Not been a great season for him. It got off to a flying start, didn't it, when he was victorious at the opening round in Argentina. Then he broke his hand, and it was all up and down all over the place. There was a couple of times when he came close to a podium, 4th in Spain, round 8, and again in Germany a couple of rounds later, before he decided to sit out after that big crash. And the injuries that he picked up in Switzerland forced him out of the season, well, out of the championship for a bit anyway, but certainly out of the title race. Jonas under attack from the number 10 of Calvin Villana, and these two fighting over 7th place with just under 13 minutes plus 2 laps to go. How deep those ruts are, that's one thing that you don't really get to appreciate from TV until you go over there and stand in them, some of those knee-high. Vlanderen, similar lap time to Jonas last time around, but looking to make his move here on the Kawasaki rider. And, I was going to say, does get around the outside, but Jonas read the situation, covered the move, and that's exactly what Vlanderen's going to try and do here, just try and get on the fat part of the tyre on the exit of the corner. A few years ago now, though, wasn't it? But the start, how we used to re-emerge, more on that in a moment. Vlanderen ran the outside of Jonas as he does take over that 7th place. But where you cross the finish line now, and you've got that 180 right, left, back onto the start straight. It used to be a chicane. Jonas and Prado having their shindig there when they were fighting for the championship in 18. Jonas came off worse, picked up a knee injury. Wasn't able to finish the season. But Calvin Villana here. Another rider transferring. Looks like Jonas may have just tried that, followed him through for the first time. Villana almost tuck in the front there in that right-hander. See how quickly the circuit's drying out. You know what's going to happen though, don't you? Going to have a 1-hour break. Just moisten the ground a little bit ahead of race 2, probably. So Vlanderen, who's found his way into 7th, tried to go outside and cut back, but obviously Jonas will beat him to the exit just here. That's where he tried to square off, and again. But then he's got that berm to get over, but then as he got out of turn 1, just ran down the outside of Jonas, who's got history in this corner as well, believe it or not, when it used to be a bank turn. Vlanderen, an easy move around the outside in the end, into 7th. Now goes after Fernandez. The gap between those two, Fernandez and Vlanderen, 3.9 seconds. Fernandez marginally quicker that time around, though. But Lucas Koenen up front, leading the way. more than 600 laps completed now in this MXGP Championship campaign. That was reached on, well, 3 laps ago. Lucas Koenen coming into here this weekend, having led 231 of those laps. He's led the last 9 as well, so 240 laps in the books. At the front of the field in his rookie season for the number 96. Looking to turn it into 25 points and race win number 13 for the season if he stays there. Not bad going, that, is it? Jan Panzer putting himself in the shop window once again. He's in that 9th place. If you follow our Behind the Gate series on our platform, then of course you know that we followed him a couple of rounds ago, and you get to see how privateer this kid is. Not just a word, it's a lifestyle. The camper, small camper as well, him, mum and dad, little trailer on the back, bikes in the back. But it works for him and his team, the JP253 KTM racing team rider from Slovenia. Just starting to find his feet now in MXGP as well. 11th in the championship. Yes, he's 69 points down on Siwa coming into this weekend, but would love to finish 10th. Would love a factory ride, I'm sure, but flying the flag for the wannabe factory racers, very much privateer racers. Jan Panzer, Guadagnini closing in on him. There's the 93 of Jago Kietz as well on the 93. So this battle, 9th, 10th and 11th place. Koldenhoff 2 seconds further back. Then Bonacorsi still not able to find his way past his teammate. He slipped 4 seconds further back behind the Dutchman. Watson having issues. He's down in 21st place at the moment. His teammate Tom Cock in 19th. Watson wasn't really at the races yesterday either, 19th in the qualifying race. And in terms of time practice, he struggled as well, 20th position. So maybe the altitude not doing that MRT Beta team any favours here, because it is crucial when you're more than 1,000 metres up. Performance gets compromised somewhat. That might just be the issue for some of the riders and teams here this weekend. Certainly Watson. Anyway, Jeffrey Hurlings, he puts his best lap in last time around, 1:55.5. Was 2 or 3 tenths quicker than Lucas Koenen, but the gap still more than 5.5 seconds as we reach 7 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Going out to 6 seconds then as he hits the line this time around. Koenen a full second quicker than Hurlings. Fevre not able to make any inroads despite being a second quicker than Hurlings last time around. That gap still 3.1 seconds. Looking like he's going to be losing 5 more points here. The fighting Frenchman going to be down to 24 as we head into race 2. Less than a race win. Watch this here, the transfer up onto the ridge, neatly across, down the inside of Geiser. That was for 3rd. That was on lap 7, 4 laps ago. Geiser not in the championship fight either. So no real reason there just to halt the progress of the number 3. Gap coming down to less than 3 seconds though between Hurlings and Fevre, so maybe there's going to be a little sprinkling of fairy dust from the Frenchman in the latter stages of this race. So quick if you get that transfer right, isn't it? Outside, inside. We'll get another split at the end of the wave section, but it looks like that gap between Hurlings and Fevre just starting to reduce slightly. 3.2 at the moment. Even if it goes to less than that, it's 2.7. That's a massive gain over the last couple of laps. Still hovering 3 seconds, so there was a couple of tenths gained. That was nicely done, wasn't it? Ran into difficulties up on the pegs, just dabbed his leg just to get him out of trouble. He won't think of it as a problem, but just the technique of the rider through there. It stood up in that right-hand turn, literally thinking on his feet at that moment in time. 12 laps complete. Koonin, 6 seconds clear. Febvre 3 behind Herlings. Geiser across the line now, 6.8 adrift in 4th place. Here he is, the 243 Honda HRC rider. Yesterday had forearms like Popeye. Normally you can get rid of that once you've had it that one time. Qualifying race, more of a sprint race if you like. But when you think you've been off the bike 9 rounds before re-emerging in Sweden and then Holland, the last 2 races, again, no substitute for being in racing conditions. You can do all the laps you like on your training ground, a place you know very well, maybe other tracks where you continue to test. I'm not sure if he's continuing to test this late in the season with 3 to go. But either way, you do your motos, you do your training. You just have a comfort zone, don't you? You get on the race, those nerves, that little bit of anticipation catches up with you. Renault under pressure from Fernandez. This, an opportunity, Fernandez, to gain another point on Koldenhoff in that fight for 3rd in the championship. He's not scared, is he? Outside, inside, cutback, didn't even blink. Transfer, yeah, closes the door, shuts down the attack from Renault. Fernandez up into 5th place. Good bit of riding that from the Honda man. 17.5 seconds behind his teammate. So Honda HRC 4th and 5th with Geiser and Fernandez now. Maxime Renault, who's been sat there in that 5th position on his own, and no one really to sort of follow and pick up lines and things like that. Hopefully, with the way that Fernandez is riding, Maxime Renault can just sit there and go, you know what, let's see what he's doing. Why did he catch me? Why was he able to get around me or up the inside of me so quickly and so decisively? 13 laps complete for these two. Fernandez put his quickest lap in last time around, does it again this time around, goes from 57 to a 55.62. That's only a second off of Lucas Koonin's best lap, which was 7 laps ago. So Fernandez up to 5th, Renault 6th, Villana 8 seconds further back in 7th, and with 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go, it's pretty much how it might finish. Jonas in 8th, Pansar in 9, Guadagnini 10, Geerts 11, Koldenhoff 12, Bonacorsi 13, then Seawer, Gifting, Bogus, Tom Cock, Van Donnick, Watson back into 19th, and Quentin Prunier. The Honda Motor Blues SR Motul rider. There's Koonin heading into the waves, there's Herlings, and then Febvre. Febvre getting that gap down to 2.9, but still hovering around that 3.1 or 2 second mark. See what it is at the end of the straight here, though, because this is the end of sector 3. Any moment now, it was 2.9, 2.2. Febvre got Herlings in his sights all of a sudden, with 3 laps to go. And when you can see that rider ahead of you, guess what? You find another gear, you dig a little deeper, especially when you know the championship is on the line. Can't afford to lose those points when you've got this rider just hovering 2.1 seconds in front of you with 3 to go. The gap would be 24 points. Started as 31 at the start of the weekend. You'd rather it be 26 if you can find your way past Herlings as you go into race 2, and then see what happens after that in the second race. Gap continues to hover around 2.1. Febvre with his best lap of the race late on, 55.6. These two picking up the pieces from their championship battle from 2021. What an epic season that was. Remember, 3 races, 3 riders, 3 points was the tagline, wasn't it, between Febvre, Geiser and Herlings. And this race played its part as well, because race 2, Febvre was leading the way. That little transfer section where you go right, left. He stumbled, went from 1st to 4th. Those points would have been crucial in that championship fight that would have seen him, in the end, hypothetically, of course, be crowned world champion for that 2nd time. So this one, he doesn't want to let slip away. 10 years between titles. If he can nail this one down in 2025, but Romain Febvre, all too aware of that. Lucas Koenen, not the sentimental type. He's young, dumb, full of fun, and enjoying his racing here at the moment. He's not dumb, he's very, very intelligent. It's just a saying. I just changed one of the other lines, one of the other words in there. I'm sure you can sense which one. But he's enjoying his riding. And as far as rookie seasons go, you know what? On his way to a potential 13th race win. Febvre gets close, then loses a little bit of time. Herlings making it difficult for the red plate holder to advance any further. Lighten at the back end at will. Still pushing a decent pace, these guys, aren't they? Got no choice but to do that. Koenen looks like he's controlling the race from the front, as he has done from the very first lap. Gap still 2.5 seconds between Herlings and Febvre. Doesn't look a lot, does it? But where you get on the gas, where you stay on the gas, where you brake, where you shift, how you approach the turn, all those things have a bearing on how you may gain or lose time. Into the final lap then. And the gap finally comes down below 2 seconds. 1.7 between Herlings and Febvre. Herlings last time around at 56.2, 55.8. Has he left it too late here, Romain Febvre? Bit of a stutter there in that turn as he re-emerges onto the start straight. Herlings tantalisingly close to the Frenchman. Middle finger on the clutch lever there, just as he feathers it on the way out of the turn. A little bit of a boost if he needs it, just to control the rear wheel spin if it starts to get a little bit out of control. Look at those ruts there on the face of that single, where they then launch, spring into a double. Again, losing another couple of tenths to the bullet. Lucas Koenen has been immaculate. Oh, I tell you what, this might be close, you know, because that's your gap now. Get a good drive out of here, you might give yourself half a chance. Meanwhile, Renault and Verlanderen, the two factory Yamaha teammates, fighting over 6th place. Rule number 1 and all that. Beat your teammate. Febvre still 1.9 behind Herlings, wasn't able to capitalise in that 3rd sector. Over the line though, winning race number 1, Lucas Koenen. 13 race wins now in his rookie season. Herlings crossed the line 2nd, Febvre 3rd, Geiser will cross the line in 4th place. And then we wait for Fernandez, who will be 5th. This battle's still not done yet, though, in that fight for 6th place. Maxime Renault and Calvin Verlanderen. Verlanderen putting his best lap of the race in last time around, 1:57.0 compared to a 59.9. Goes up the inside, can't find a way through. Drag race to the line between these two, but it's going to be Renault out of the final turn on the 959, who holds on for that 6th place. Verlanderen 7th. We wait for Jonas. He's about 8 or 9 seconds further back in 8th. Panzer and Guadagnini should round out the top 10. But that gap between Romain Febvre and Lucas Koenen, start of the weekend it was 31 points. After the qualifying race it was 29. After race 1 we're down to 24, less than a race win advantage between Romain Febvre and Lucas Koenen.